Hey traders, it is Monday, September 9th. Hope you're having a good start to your week so far. I'm making this video today mainly because a student of mine wrote me an email and he was asking about how you add an options quote to your watch list. And it's actually a fairly simple process, but I thought to myself, well, instead of just replying directly to this one guy, why don't I make an actual video about it? Because it's a thing that perhaps a lot of other people might have difficulty with as well. So I would sort of kill two birds with one stone and answer this guy's question and also help other people out in case you're having the same difficulties. But before I get into that, I also just wanted to talk about a thing that I did over the weekend. Now, this is something that I don't recommend you do except in very particular circumstances. And what I mean by particular circumstances is there has to be a very, very steep, dramatic rise or fall in price before you do something like this. But basically, what I did was, you all know what happened on Friday. It was just, the day was like this. Friday was terrible. There was that weak jobs report, and then because of the weak jobs report, price just fell out all day long and basically capped the worst week for the S&P 500 that it's had in over a year. So that's dramatic. Like, that's the level of dramatic price movement I'm talking about that needs to happen before you even consider doing this. What I did was, right at the end of the day on Friday, I actually opened up some call options. So after we had fallen out all day long and capped the worst week in over a year, right at the end of the day, I opened up a handful of contracts on Amazon and SPY. And then I closed them out in 4 minutes this morning, right when the market opened up, because I had a sneaking suspicion that the market would gap up fairly hard today, and it did. And I just scooped in and grabbed all those profits pretty much immediately right after the market opened up. So I made over 33%, almost 34% P&L today, and like a little over $850 in 4 minutes, simply because I saw what had happened all week last week, just dramatic, crazy price action. And I thought to myself, what are the chances that this continues the same way again this week? Now, of course, there's always the possibility that it continues to the downside or the upside if we're talking about going the other direction. But the point is, I was willing to take that risk, and I knew it was a risk, and that's why I only bought just a handful of contracts. I didn't get in with like 50 contracts. That would have been really reckless and dangerous and stupid to do that. So I didn't do that. I only got a handful of contracts because in my mind, the risk was worth it of opening just a handful of contracts with my suspicion that we were going to turn around and be green today and come back to the upside. You know, everything is like calculated risk. You have to look at the charts and say, you know, what is the possibility of a certain thing happening based on what I'm seeing on these charts. And so for me, based on what I was seeing on the charts after the worst week in over a year, and seeing how the day sort of ended up, like we almost kind of started, it looked like at the end of the day on Friday, it had looked like we'd almost kind of started to round the corner. If you go back and look at Friday's price action on the SPY and on most tickers really, you've got the first 10, 15 minutes of the day it pops up, and then it just falls really crazy hard, and then it kind of plateaus, and like the last half hour of the day, it almost looks like it's starting to turn the corner and round its way back up. And so because I saw that, and because I combined that with knowing that it was the worst week in over a year, I just thought to myself, I'm okay with taking this risk. And so I opened up calls, and it paid off this morning. But that's just like a little side note, and it's not something that I would want you to do, or it's not even something that I do, except very, very infrequently. Like I said at the very beginning of this video, there has to be a pretty dramatic thing happen on a Friday for me to do what I did over this weekend. But, you know, that's what I did this weekend, and it paid off for me. So it's a nice start to the week. But anyway, the point of this video is to talk about just how easy it is to load up your watch list with your options quotes that you will see in your trade tab. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to do that right now. Okay, so here we are taking a look at my main screen. This is the screen that I see when I'm looking at my laptop, because normally I have my main screen and my brain is on the laptop. So this is what's running Thinkorswim, and then I have my two external monitors. And on each one of my two monitors, I usually have two charts up. So two charts on each one of my monitors. And I'll change that up occasionally as far as like what time frames I'm looking at. I always have at least one of my monitors with the 1 minute charts of regular candlesticks. And then on the other one, that's the one that I'll vary sometimes. So I might put it on a 3 minute chart. I might put it on a 5 minute chart. I might put it on a 10 minute Heikin-Ashi chart. So just whatever is best complementing what I'm seeing on my main external monitor, which has the 1 minute charts on it, that's what I'll have on my second monitor. But if you only have one external monitor, which is what I assume a lot of you watching this will have, then the thing to do is to just keep this view right here on your main screen, and then have your one external monitor with your 1 minute candlestick charts up on that one. But the purpose of this video is to show you just how easy it is to populate your watch list with some options quotes. It's really super easy. So the first thing you do is you look up here at the top. You've got monitor, trade, analysis, scan, market watch, charts. You see we're on charts right here. So if I change this, this changes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to trade. Go to trade. So let's say, for example, I just want to put a SPY quote on my watch list here. So this is what you do. You just look. Here we go. We're looking at SPY. You see right here, SPY. This is what it's currently trading at, $545.33. Let's say, so today is the 9th. It's Monday, September 9th right now as I'm making this video. Let's say we want to get a September 10th expiry and we want to go pretty much at the money and we want to call. So what we would do, 545 current price. Let's look at 545 right here. So let's say I want to buy the 545 call option. Remember, on the left, we've got calls, and on the right, we've got puts. So all we need to do is just simply hover over this. You see how it says buy, and see how this says sell. This lets you know over here we've got calls, over here we've got puts. So we would just hover over this right here, the 545 strike price at tomorrow's expiry, September 10th. And then I have a Mac, so what I do is I just hit Command, click, and then this little box will pop up. You put add SPY to watch list. I've created a watch list that I call daily. You simply create a new watch list. You can call it whatever you want. You can have multiple watch lists. You could have a separate watch list for a lot of different types of things that you want to trade. But mainly I just have one watch list that I put everything on, which is daily. So I go over here, hover over this, click on daily, and then boom, you see this has populated right here. Let's say I wanted to add Meta into my watch list. Simply type in Meta. Meta does not have the daily expiries the way that SPY and Q does. So the closest expiry we're going to see is September 13th for Meta. So basically, let's say we wanted to do the same thing. We want to get a pretty much at the money call option on Meta. It's currently trading at $505.89. So let's go over here. We see the strike price. Closest one for us would be $505. We hover over the call side at the 505 strike price. Command click. Once again, the little box pops up, add Meta to watch list daily. We move over here, click it, and then boom, there it is. Now, when we go back to charts, whichever one of these that we click on will populate not only right here in our buy and sell box, but also over here, which shows us what the actual price of the option is currently trading at. So whenever moves happen in the price of the option, it's going to show in this box. And then whatever box you click on right here, if you're looking right up here, notice when I click on each one of these different options, that's the one that populates in not only this box, but over here on your buy and sell box. So if, for example, I decided that it was time for me to pull the trigger, obviously I would not want to pull the trigger on a SPY call option right now, because you can see at this very minute what we're doing. This is not a place where I would want to buy calls. Now, perhaps in 5 minutes from now, if we come down and bounce off the 200 and come back up, then that might be a place where I might want to buy a call option. But I certainly would not do this right this second. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to just talk about how to populate your options contracts in your watch list. So now that we've got both of these contracts populated in here, as soon as we go over here and hit buy market, we're going to purchase whatever quantity we have set. So if I put this to 20, quantity 20, Meta, now I would not ever do this. I mean, I'm never going to buy 20 contracts all at once. I may very well buy 20 contracts of the same ticker over the course of a morning, but I'll never buy 20 all at one time, because I always like to start a little bit small. I'll get like a feeler trade going, make sure that the trend is actually doing what I think it's going to do. And then when I see that it's working for me, I will add in slowly. So I would probably get my first contract with a quantity of 1 and just see how it's working. And then if in a few minutes the price reaffirms my speculation and I was right, then I might add in a few minutes later with 3 or with 5, and I might add in a few more times over the course of the day before I start closing contracts for a profit. But I will almost never get 20 contracts at one time. That there has to be a very, very particular set of circumstances setting up to make me want to do that. But mostly I've got this set on 1 or 3, and then I'll enter in number of times throughout the morning. And if it's really going well for me, I might up this to 5 or even 10 and get in a couple more times before I start peeling out. But it's really just as simple as that. You just go to whatever ticker you want. So if I want some Apple options, go over here. Let's say I want a at the money call on Apple, 217.5. Once again, we hover, command click, little box pops up. We go down to add Apple to watch list daily. That's our watch list. Click it, and then boom, there's Apple. We go back to our charts now. If I click on Apple, there is our options contract that we just added to this watch list. And as you can see, as I click on each different options contract, that's the one that's populated in this price window and also in this buy sell window. One last thing that I forgot to mention in order to make this all work is that you need to have these 3 boxes linked. That is super important, because if you don't have your boxes linked, if you don't have your watch list and your price box and your buy sell box linked, then they won't all change together. And so you can see that I have mine set to number 9 here. The number makes no difference. Click this and you see you can go anywhere from 1 to 9. It could be any number in color from 1 to 9, doesn't matter, as long as all 3 of them are the same. So you'll notice that over here on my 5-minute Heikin Ashi chart and my 30-minute Heikin Ashi chart, I've got these 2 linked, and I have number 1 linking these 2. So if I change this to the triple Q, both of them change to triple Q. If I change this to AMD, both of these change to AMD, yet nothing over here changes, because these 3 boxes up here are linked with number 9, and these 2 chart boxes are linked with number 1. So linking up your boxes is essential in making sure that all of this works properly. So don't forget that. Okay, we're back. To my one student that wrote me, I hope this answered your question. And to anybody else that was wondering how to do this, I hope that also helps you out. And I hope it's been a good day so far, and keep the week green. And I'll be back whenever I can to make another video and to share some more information about whatever it is that I feel like is important for you guys to know about. So until then, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.